Hey, this is ArtsyWisdom. My name's Diane. Just got back from seeing my girlfriend. Like I mentioned previously, we had a great time. So back home, I'm going to make this real quick. Working on the lingerers, the last minute hangers on, the ones that I didn't talk or get into last time. I see visions. For those of you who are new here, I see visions. I read tarot, astrology, hypnotherapy. I do personal stuff. I also travel in my mind's eye, do remote viewing. So I tend to use food or other kind of images, and decipher them with you. You guys sometimes help me. Thank you. Thank you for my new viewers, my old viewers, my peeps that keep coming back. Thank you very much. Someone on the comments told me that Debbie Stabenow is retiring. So on the list that I was looking at on CNN, of course, her picture was there, but Elise Slotkin was in the Democratic place against, I can't think of who they're running against in Michigan. And I just saw Debbie Stabenow's picture and I saw her name and I didn't read it carefully, so that's on me. But I still think it's going to be a Democrat. I still think Elise Slotkin's going to take Michigan. So whoever reminded me that, thank you very much. I like to be called out on my stuff where it's not accurate. That's fine with me, because these are all experiments for entertainment purposes only. All experiments. Okay, so today, or this time, our little caboose group, somebody asked about Texas, and I forgot about Texas. Ted Cruz and Colin Allred, and another person or another campaign that I get emails like, I don't know how many times a day I count. That's one of the things I am not going to miss. The ads and these emails. I'm going to look into that. I already talked about Michigan. I also forgot to talk about Maryland. Also Brooks versus, I think it's Larry Hogan. He was the governor and now he's running for senator. And I'm just going to quickly pull a couple cards. I didn't do this earlier, but I think it's Angela also Brooks of Maryland versus Hogan. She's a Democrat. He's a Republican. I guess he did okay. Balance, temperance. Yeah, I see her winning. There's also some other kind of situation there with, I don't think it's like the ballots, but there's some confusion where it's fast. I've got two really fast cards. I got the Eight of Wands and the Knight of Swords. So I think the counting of ballots, the election, I think that one will be a faster one. And there'll be some sadness. I don't know what the grief is about. What is that grief about? In Maryland. Oh my goodness. I got the same card, Temperance. Balance, temperance. And a lot of emotion. Queen of Pentacles. That's the Queen. I don't know what Miss also Brooks is. And then there's an ending. The cycle. There'll be a celebration. It's an ending. So I think there's a, what do you call that? End of one reign of somebody and beginning of another. So I think that's going to go towards Miss Also Brooks. Let's see. Now, the other thing before I get into Texas, I wanted to ask of Liz Cheney, who's been like heroic in this whole thing, to go again. She's committed political suicide because of her going against, Donnie and his crazy, narcissistic, sociopathic way of living and trying to lead and lie and lie and lie and lie and lie some more. So she knows it's not safe for the country to have him anywhere near the office, but she has really thrown herself across the railroad tracks, come what may. So it's amazing. But when I was talking to my friend today, her husband does canvassing for Democratic Party, and he said that he thought she might be in Harris's cabinet, Liz Cheney. Maybe. I kind of heard that before. I think she might use her in other ways. I don't think it'll be on the cabinet. I don't necessarily see that. I see her being in the administration somehow, and maybe a conduit or a something not in the White House, but more a part of the administration. I do see that. Something kind of important. Maybe it's something outside of the country, something a connection to another country, like, I don't know, say Secretary of State, because that's on the cabinet, but something like that, where you're connecting to another country or, yeah. So I see her doing something maybe with Liz Cheney. Anyway, I wanted to see if she was going to be safe. Trump has made it clear that he wants her DEAD. I see that happening. And was Liz Cheney safe? I already talked about her having a position. That's so scary. She's safe. I see some orangey yellow building right there. Oh, that guy that hit Paul Pelosi. Oh, this is a good sign. I pulled the world. So she's got a protection from all over. She has lots of support. And I see this wreath around her. And she's got a little crown on her. So I feel like she's going to be safe. So, and then I'm sure she's got layers. Like I see Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift has got layers of security around her. It's like that. I feel like she's not vulnerable at all. And also, I'd be scared of Liz Cheney. I bet she conceals, has a permit to carry concealed weapons. I bet. I'm just saying. I think she might. You know, her dad was and she's from Wyoming. What kind of violence, what kind of protests should we expect? I know we're all a little nervous. We want to get past Tuesday, which we will. The results will trickle in Wednesday night or Tuesday night and Wednesday. They'll probably call most of it. And I think something's going to happen on the 7th. Now, in the past, I have said it'll be determined by the 7th. As I look at the United States and the ballots, I see that things are okay. They're running smoothly for the most part. Actually, when I look at it now, I feel like we'll be all clear on the 6th. But the 7th, I think, is going to be some sort of, I don't want to say rebellion, but the Republican Party or the beginning of the process of challenging everything is going to happen. I think that's what's going to happen. But let's look at the protests real quick. And like I said, here in Arizona, I don't see, today I saw a couple trucks, like crazy flags, but normally in the past, they were everywhere, in all the corners, all the signs. But I do know this, is that Lara Trump is now the RNC chair, and they're funneling all the money to his campaign, not any of the lower ticket candidates. So that's why there's not as many signs. But also Trump, I don't think he's as popular as he was, really and truly. So, okay, right after the election, I see something like anger and agitation. And from the election to the end of the year, I've seen this before, November, December, well, we're in November, but towards December, as we get closer to the end of the year, I see it getting darker. Darker meaning the energy is more volatile. And I know people may be concerned about another January 6th. I don't think that's going to happen. They have too many, ways of preparing for that now that we know that's a possibility. And I think they're protecting all courthouses, all state governmental offices. I really do. So it's a little bit different this time around. And they learned in 2022 more what to do. I've seen the Proud Boys and all those people waiting in the woods, whenever they get the nod from Donnie Boy to do something or from his people. Because he always has It's like mob mentality. You always have separation between what the head person wants and what the guy who goes and does it. So there's no connection. It's very crime syndicate mentality. Yeah, I see, like, after the election, Thanksgiving to Christmas, or Christmas, I mean, to the end of the year, there's going to be, it's heavy duty. They feel like there's something heavy happening in there. Right now, I can't see it. I just see it as dark. And I wouldn't worry, personally. I'm not worried about myself and me. And, but I wouldn't worry about that right now. I think it's more the energy, and people are amped up. And I think the Republican Party is going to be freaking out. Okay, let's just dive into Texas. I looked at the early ballot return, and they are massive in Texas. So many people did early ballots there. So many. More than any other state, I think. I see Ted Cruz. I'm in his energy, and he's gathering all this money from all these rich tech, oil, industrial monies. And he has this self-righteous tone about him. He's very smarmy. That's the word I use, smarmy. Okay, Colin Allred. You know what? Colin has picked up steam because in the past I've seen, way a long time ago, Ted Cruz was going to win it. He had too much money. This pushing Colin has been pushing Ted over to this side quite a bit. It's going to be close, but if he does take it, it'll be from all those women voters, Colin Allred, from all those women who are done with this Roe v. Wade thing. They want freedom of choice, and I think they're gonna vote him out, because there's also all the different, when they had that freezing, and he went to Cancun or whatever with his family. It's terrible. He still is a corporate puppet. So he has a lot of power that way, and a lot of lobbyists or a lot of people. But Colin always got all these grassroots, all this stuff. Reminds me of that big wave or that big sea of voters in the valley. It's very similar. So I'm going to say Colin Allred. I see him digging a hole, and he's like putting Cruz in it, like burying him, kind of thing. And he's super, at this moment, but there's free will. We still have 2 days. Okay, that's it. Quick last little tidbits. You guys take care. 2 more days. Yay, we're going to get through this.